6, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Wow, yeah, same. Week 1 had some really nice top performers. We're moving on to week 2. Offensive, defensive players of the week for the AFC and NFC. I'm seeing some not even big names, see some big names, some other. Jay Williams out of the Bucks, Marcus Mariota from the Bengals, Joey Bosa from the Chargers, and Zach Brown from the Redskins. What stands out of week 2's players of the week?
Well, Zach Brown stands out the most. I mean, with the forced fumble recovery and then the two forced fumbles. Obviously, he has really big hip power, able to do it. But the 12 tackle stands out. Zach Brown is a middle linebacker user. It looks like the Redskins owner is really good with his user. He's every situation because to get 12 tackles, that means he's going left and right all through the field, running and passing plays. You got to watch out for Zach Brown and the Redskins. So far, they're undefeated, and from what I hear in the and other coaches in the league, that the Redskins might be a competitor for the Super Bowl. I know that's a little early to say.
High praise coming from the Green Bay Packers organization. I like it. What are your thoughts about Joey Bosa getting 4 sacks? I know it's not as impressive as a 12 tackle game. It really looks like he was eating up there.
Yeah, he was doing good. He was doing really good. But Joey Bosa, that's what he does. That's what he does. He gets through the line and gets right through it.
Hmm. Sounds like all these guys have had a great week. Marcus Mariota looks like he did good, but he gets injured, and that's even worse. Especially when you're coming off of such a good game and then get injured.
Exactly.
That's gotta hurt. And getting to the final week 3 players of the week, and instantly, I don't even have to ask you what stands out. Ezekiel Elliott breaks the rushing record in his first game, officially playing his first game, because weeks 1 and 2 he got hurt. He was out for all games, and then his first game, 30 carries, 424 rushing yards. He was averaging 14 point yards a carry with 5 rushing touchdowns. I mean, does that not speak greatness?
Well, it does. I mean, you can see what Ezekiel Elliott does in changing the game if he's fully healthy. Now that's the question that you have to ask yourself throughout the season is how long can he stay healthy for a stretch that gives them a viable spot in the playoffs as well as in the playoffs be healthy, because it doesn't matter how many stats you can break as many records, but if you're not healthy to win games and get your teams to positions to actually win, deep into the playoffs or even a championship, that Ezekiel Elliott cannot have any of those games where he could rush for 13 times and then having to go back to the locker room. He has to stay on the field. He has to get his body and mind right to continue the season and finish the season.
Definitely something I think we should keep an eye on is Ezekiel health, because if he can continue such a stretch, I mean, we're phenomenal numbers for the season. Definitely something we'll keep an eye on. Aaron Donald looked like he's good, and that's, I mean, just another game changer. You just can't say enough about that guy's strength.
Yeah,
9 tackles, 2 sacks, a forced fumble, and he got the forced fumble back, which is hard. So not only are you smacking the guy, you're picking a
yeah, Aaron Donald is.
lost you.
You good?
Hmm.
All right. Um, let's get back. I'll count to three, and then we'll get back and let's talk about McCaffrey. Okay.
All right.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. How about now? Is that better?
It's back. Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so Aaron Donald, I mean, obviously, his strength is such a massive part of his game. Plus, they have an Ndamukong Suh, so they're going to give him one-on-one opportunities to battle against these offensive linemen. And obviously, with his stats that he put up this week in week 3, he's winning those battles, disrupting the backfield, disrupting the quarterback's timing. The running back doesn't see any holes because he's busting right through them. It's just, a dominance that we like to see here in Madden.
I definitely like to see it. That's players of the weeks for right now, and I'd like to dive in now to see these sneaky stat players, the league leaders. We're gonna go right into the passing touchdown leader, passing yards leader, and there are some definitely interesting names on this list. Paxton Lynch is something that stands out to me, but the top is Philip Rivers. He's got 75 completions, 999 yards, 6 touchdowns. Paxton Lynch has 793 yards, 4 touchdowns. We've got Matthew Stafford, 777 yards, 6 touchdowns. And rookie Josh Rosen and Baker Mayfield finish out the bottom. Josh Rosen has 759 yards, 5 touchdowns, and Baker Mayfield has 743 yards and 3 touchdowns. I like to see some young names up there with Baker Mayfield, Josh Rosen, and Paxton Lynch.
Yeah, these guys are taking these young quarterbacks and making something of them. Because when it comes to your franchise, you want to have your young guys be able to lead early and start developing early. Even though Philip Rivers and Matthew Stafford are on the top 10, those are teams that know what they have in quarterback and know that they can win with those quarterbacks. Now with these ones, these are more surprise with the Paxton Lynch, Josh Rosen, Baker Mayfield. Those guys, you don't know what you have, but obviously so far so good, and they're actually making the most of what experience that they have.
And going right into the rushing leaders, right here at the top, Ezekiel Elliott with 1 game finds himself at the top of the boards with 558 yards and 6 touchdowns. But closing in tight is Chris Thompson, 533 yards, and he's played all his games. He's got 8 rushing touchdowns on the season, 8 rushing touchdowns in 3 weeks. That's really impressive. He's definitely getting the carries. He's got 51 carries. He's averaging a whopping 10 yards per carry. You're almost talking like a first down every time. I mean, as soon as he touches the ball.
He's a viable weapon for the Redskins. Don't be surprised if you see him near the top every single week and even at the end of the season. He's a part of their offense. Now he did get hurt the last game, but he was able to finish it off. It was kind of a scary thought for the Redskins user. Thought that he was, probably out for several weeks, but he got the leading rusher back and he's able to go. Now, another person I wanted to mention on this list was Christian McCaffrey. Now, Christian McCaffrey came from the Panthers trade earlier in the season. I mean, Myles Garrett for Christian McCaffrey, and you're thinking, wait, is he gonna actually? Yeah, exactly. Is he just gonna actually, come back and bite the Browns? But as you can see with Christian McCaffrey in the top 5 of rushing, it actually was a great, brilliant trade. Now, people would have thought, hey, what is this guy doing? He has a massive pass rusher. Pass rusher, controls the game, gets through the line, kind of like an Aaron Donald. But, I guess the Browns organization knows what they're doing. And with the trade, actually sparked a bunt.
Right now, offensive-minded team right now. Their defense is definitely suffering. They let up about 60 points last game.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can score with them, you can score with them. And right now, I feel like the organization of the Browns is thinking completely offense and building defense through the draft. Le'Veon Bell's on this list, but another sneaky name is a Jamal Williams. 353 yards, averaging 7 yards a carry and 2 touchdowns. He also was a player. He was Week 2 Player of the Week. The Bucs has him going too. Will it stand? We'll see.
Exactly.
The season's early. Now we got their wide receivers. Tyreek Hill leads it off in the number one spot. 9 receptions, 362 yards, 5 touchdowns. Julio Jones, Keenan Allen, Eric Decker, and Travis Benjamin looking to make a name like he did several years ago.
Yeah, the one that stands out to me is Tyreek Hill, just because look at his average, 40 yards an average catch. I mean, the with Mahomes, his throw power, these guys are chucking it all through the field. They are just lighting it up. They're just gonna bomb it down and say this guy's gonna catch it with his 97 speed. He's just gonna go ahead and get it, and that's what they did. I mean, these corners can't keep up with 40 yards per catch or average per catch with 5 touchdowns. It's just ridiculous numbers that he's putting up, and it's only 9 receptions. It's not like he's getting a bunch of targets.
Well, let's just get into it. The best part of the game on my side is this defense. And speaking of Myles Garrett, he's having a phenomenal year. He's leading the league. Well, I misread this. Sorry. There is a 4-way tie in sacks. Myles Garrett, Gerald McCoy, Joseph, and Joey Bosa all have 6 sacks. Robert Ayers has 5. And I know there are several other names that did not make the list that are on 5. It's a tight race for the sacks leader.
Yeah, yes, it is. I mean, with starting organizations, you don't really know what you have in your offensive line, and this is where the defense feeds. It feeds off the beginning part of, when a organization starts, new coaches starts with their team. They're looking at what kind of schemes they're doing, and these sacks are going off of maybe offensive line troubles. I definitely know that these with McCoy, when it comes to McCoy, he was going off against a bad offensive line, and he was just getting through every single possession. And that's what you find around this time, this early in the season. Look for them to start slowing down as the season progresses, as the offensive line unit kind of coagulates and be able to communicate better and start working together better. And then you'll start seeing these sacks a little bit less. Exactly. So in the beginning of this franchises, they're looking for that offensive line that can work as a unit. And in the beginning couple of the weeks, you will see these high sack numbers just because they are not getting it together, and these guys still need to be developed.
And there are a lot of teams that are in need of a good line.
Yes, sir.
You're right. I think some of these numbers will. I could see quite a few guys going for double-digit sacks this year.
Yeah, I mean, once again, it stands out Myles Garrett trade, obviously for the Panthers, just as great as the Browns organization. They both get a win-win situation. Not all the time you get that. One time you get one win, one the other. But with Myles Garrett going into the Panthers organization and making a statement saying, you know what, I'm going to lead and be the leading rusher. I mean, these guys are just killing it right now.
Yeah, and with same goes for these guys that are intercepting the ball. The race is very tight. I mean, you have 10 different players here that have four or more interceptions. Sean Richardson has 5, and Eric Berry has 5, and closely behind them, T.J. Green, Kawhi Alexander, and Brett Grimes, and the list goes on after that. A lot of interceptions are happening, and it goes to your point that a lot of guys are getting a feel for their teams, their new quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of these numbers will start to even out once coaches recognize what they have.
Well, it looks like a lot of these guys are safeties. Eric Berry, T.J. Green. These guys are safeties, so it looks like these teams are throwing it over the middle carelessly and are just getting picked off left and right. Even with Kaiwan Alexander with the middle linebacker spot, these guys are throwing it over the middle. There's only certain plays that you want to throw over the middle, kind of distract the user and be able to throw over the middle. But if these guys aren't distracting the user or just going off of timing routes, they're going to get picked off. They have to be more efficient with the football. maybe dunk it down to the flats, maybe have a curl go right over the middle to distract the linebacker user. But you can't just willy-nilly throw it over the middle because, as you can see, these guys all play within the middle, especially in a cover 3 zone. They're able to pick those off.
And it's exactly right. It all just comes down to these guys are trying to make plays, and I like it.
Correct.
Now we're starting to get to the end here of the podcast. It's been great. I think we've touched on a lot of things. I'd like to hit into this draft class, and it's early, but these guys, this league loves the draft. I never see these guys get more excited about something. And I got 3 guys on my list that people should stay a close eye on. Is this right outside linebacker? His father actually was a legendary Texas high school coach. Lee has turned around he's been around football his entire life. Eric Lee Streel, out of Rhode Island, 6'2", 23, got good weight, 225. So far, the scouting report says B- tackle, B- hit power. I think B- hit power could land him somewhere in the 80s, low 80s, and I think that's pretty serviceable.
Okay. Yeah, this guy, it looks like the outside spot. Let's see what when the combine comes out. It does say he's a 3-4 pass rusher. Usually when it's a 3-4 pass rusher, they're going to have some kind of speed and be able to actually get to the quarterback, or you can switch him over to middle linebacker. He can also play that position, especially at 6'2". If he can get a nice vertical, then this player can make a big difference, similar to a Kaiwan Alexander or, Darren Lee. Get over the middle and pick off those picks. But at the same time, it looks like he can play both middle and outside, especially if it says that he's a pass rusher and he already has C+ power moves. I'm thinking that he could turn out to be, maybe a Von Miller, where you can go into coverage and be a pass rusher.
Von Miller, another high praise. Same high praise is going for this Josh Steen out of Oklahoma. Oklahoma is having a huge college football season right now, and the success of him defending the pass, he's shut down coverage and gaining high stock right now. He's 5'11", and he is on the older side. Will that hurt him or help him? We'll have to see when he actually gets drafted. And the scouts are giving him some good numbers here. He's so far got a B+ hit power, B pursuit with a B- zone. Definitely coverage is in his future.
Correct. If the team that lands him is a team that's ready to go and doesn't need to develop, his age won't be a concern. Especially that he's looks like he's an early first round talent. If he's an early first round talent and can get into the right team that he can start and he's able to get going right away, the age won't be too big of a problem, especially with all the B's that he's had so far. Let's see what the combine says on his jumping, his acceleration, see what his shuttle time is, see what his 40 time is. If he can be able to be just a nice piece, it doesn't have to be a game changer, but a nice piece on a winning team, he can be the difference on that defense where a couple turnovers can change the game. And this guy is already doing what he does in Oklahoma, can bring it over to the NFL side. Then you know what? You have a nice first round pick. That's a solid pick, and you can't go wrong with that.
One more defensive guy I'd like to talk to, and he's also from the Big 12, is Russell Newman. This cornerback is big and fast. Sealing the deal, Newman intercepted a touchdown late in the fourth to push Texas past Texas A&M. Newman on field has lightning speed. Everyone is looking forward to seeing what this man's 40 time will be, because it's 6'2", and the rumors saying he runs a 4'3", 4'2". If they're right, he could go maybe even number 1.
Well, I see this guy being, he's 6'2", he's fast. I see this guy being like a, Richard Sherman mixed with Deion Sanders speed. Now, if his 40 time is good enough, this guy could make a big difference in any team. superstar even. I can even go on record saying this guy might even be superstar caliber. Russell is already making plays inside on the college field. It's only going to be a matter of time where he turns it in. Big cornerbacks are a rage in the league against big wide receivers. You can see him guarding a Julio Jones with the speed and the height. You can see him guarding any type of receiver, even a Tyreek Hill. As fast as he is, with that height, he's able to swat away passes and at the same time make those quick cutbacks into intercept passes and jump right in front of the receivers.
That youth is nice. 22-year-old rookie is definitely something that catches everybody's eye, whether or not they're even that good. Sometimes you just see the youth and then you build around the youth. But I mean, there's just so many things that stick out about this young man, and it's still early in the college season. Early draft, he could possibly be a top pick. B coverage across the board with a B press.
I wouldn't be I wouldn't be surprised if this guy lands number one. I've seen cornerbacks land on number ones. Usually it's quarterback, wide receivers. But if his speed and his 40 time is lightning speed, like they say, and you can see it on the television when they're playing, um, you might see him go number one, especially with all these guys racking up draft picks. Because, I mean, if you look at the Falcons, they've already made so many different trades looking for draft picks, looking to look up. And you know what? Don't be surprised if he ends up on the Falcons. He could go number one if they get that number one spot.
There's just a lot of great players out here, and there's nothing better than the draft. It gets great. There's a lot of talent out here, and Newman looks to be one of the tops out there.
I agree.
Well, Ben, do you have any closing thoughts of the Madden House podcast?
Well, I just wanted to thank everyone tuning in, but I think we have a lot of things in store for this podcast. I appreciate you having me on here. It's always been a pleasure to work with you and be able to get things going. But what I see this going pretty far, extending out to Madden 19 and kind of evolving because this podcast is not just going to be some of the pictures here. We're evolving into videos and into more things that we need, but when it comes to this season in particular, I just want to see what competitors are going to be there for 19. These guys are going to be here for the long haul, competing back and forth, beating each other for championships. It reminds me of a couple years back where it wasn't always the same guy battling for the championship. It was always a new guy stepping up, building his team, getting it finally right, and then the next year being able to go into the playoffs and go pretty far, contending the other ones that already been up in the championships. So it's always nice to see who's going to be up there, who's going to be battling, because we already know some people are going to be up there that have won multiple championships, Crazy Loco, Batman. But these new guys coming into Madden House, I'm very excited because they bring championships from other leagues. And now let's see how they mix with ours and see what kind of competition we're going to get. I like competition because it makes the best out of the league and makes everyone better. And you never know what could happen, especially in this Madden.
I couldn't agree more. And we'll definitely get better with this as we go. Bear with us, but we are looking to finish our core group of guys. We are using this to bring over franchise players, not necessarily even the best guys, competitive-wise. We're looking for franchise guys that are good in both. We want good guys that can win and build and just have fun with it. And it's been great. And we're going to be coming back stronger with another podcast.
All right. You still there?
Yeah, I don't know how to end it. But
You just be like, all right, guys, tune in next time to the next podcast. We'll be there shortly, give you some great news and some more info on the Madden House. So just end it like that.
All right, count down.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, well, that's it. It's been great, guys. Make sure you guys are uploading some clips so we can be featured on this podcast. Take this even further. The more videos and pictures you guys take and record for us, the more we can do with this. It's been great. It's been fun. I'm out of here. Ben, you're out of here. Let's go
Alrighty.
Madden House.
Madden House.